are at Northwoods Park today in Sumner, Iowa. It's November 4th, I believe. I have no idea what day it is anymore. It's COVID times. So what we're doing is we're doing some water testing at this stream, and we've already got the thermometer in the water. We're going to test the temperature here in just a little bit. I've got my handy dandy sheet. We're going to answer a couple questions first. So first things first, I'll put name and group. There's not really necessarily a group today, but is today sunny, overcast, intermittent, or rain of any kind? And there's certainly not snow. So we're going to mark sunny, because there's a lot of sunshine. It is beautiful out here on this fall day. It also asks about yesterday. We're gonna mark sunny for that. And the day before yesterday, we're also gonna mark pretty much sunny. So the first test I'm gonna do is actually pH, and pH measures acidity and basic. And our, basically we run pretty in the middle here in Iowa. Usually around 8-ish. Is right in the middle, not acidic and not basic. And so this is pretty much like science class. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna set my stuff down. I'm gonna get out my little handy dandy test that we ordered through Amazon, actually, because that's right now the easiest place to get it. I take out one little test strip. This would be the same as if you had a swimming pool. You would test for pH in your swimming pool as well. So the instructions are right on the container. It says dip into the water and remove immediately. Then we hold it level. We count to 15, so you're gonna get to do that with me as well. Do not shake any water from that test strip, and then we compare it to the numbers on the bottle. Okay, so are you ready to do that? We're gonna put it in, bring it out immediately, count to 15. Here we go. Hope I don't fall in. In, hold it flat. We're counting to 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. For luck, there's a timer on the GoPro, so that really helps me out. Okay, so is it number 7 or number 8, my friends? Miss Angie, can you tell?
Oh, I would say number 8.
Okay, that's about perfect. That's what we want it to be. So number 8, the longer I let this expose, it can change. And so we want to just really make sure we do it right at that 15 seconds, and then we're done. So on my data sheet then, I write the pH as 8, okay? All right, we're gonna do the next test, but give us a minute. Next on our list is phosphate. Okay, so in the olden days, our dishwashing soap and things like that would have phosphates in them, but now you'll read that on your laundry soap and other soaps that they do not have phosphate, so no phosphate. So that's why they say it, because it ended up in our waterways, and we didn't really need that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna test, we're gonna dip it in for 5 seconds this time, then we remove it, we're gonna hold it level, then we have to wait for 45 seconds. So we're ready to do this. Here we go. We're gonna dip it in and count to 5 with me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, Yay, we can count to 5 today.
We're so good at that, yeah. Now we have to count to 45. Good thing there's a timer on the GoPro again, because we're really going to be waiting for that whole 45 seconds, friends. And so what we do is holding it level. Ooh, gosh. Yikes. And I'm gonna compare it on this thing as soon as we get to our appropriate time, okay? So we're still waiting a few more seconds, and we will compare. This again is phosphate. We're hoping that there's 0 phosphates in here. So that's what we're going for today. Okay, we got about 5 seconds left. All right, we're gonna compare. All right, so get real close there. Is that a 0 or a 5 or somewhere in between? Ooh. What do you think, Miss Angie? Hard to say?
It's hard to say. I'm thinking closer to 5, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
What do you think? You're looking a little closer than I am?
Well, we definitely know it's between 0 and 5. So that's the hard thing with a test like this, is that that is a really large amount to go from 0 to 5. So we have another test, and we might use that test too, just to see if we can kind of get that number down. And it works in a little bit different way. So we'll bring that back and we'll let you know. All right, so we did have an expired phosphate test kit that looks a lot like the dissolved oxygen. It has those tubes again, but none of our tubes were even as dark as number 1 here. And so then we put them in a comparator that looks like this. So these are tenths, these are 0.9 and below, and we really didn't see a lot of phosphate with this. Now again, this is an expired test kit, so our results were kind of inconsistent there, and maybe that would be something that we would have to look up and research and see if 5 would be normal this time of year, because I expected it to be more like the 0.1 or 2, which shows on this particular test. So that one's a little different. Next test is a double test. It's for nitrates and nitrites. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna dip it in for 1 second. We're gonna remove the test strip. We are not gonna shake any excess water off of it, and we're gonna count till 30. Then we have nitrates on the top of the test and nitrites on the bottom of the test. So we're hoping that these are both 0 as well. We're gonna dip it in the water for 1 second, 1001. Okay, I'm not shaking off any excess water. We're counting to 30. And as we do that, I'm holding it nice and flat, and I'm getting ready to look at the top line first and then the bottom, okay? So that's our little cheat sheet. Here's what's happening on the test so far. It's already starting to develop, and we've got about 10 more seconds left, and then we're gonna go ahead and read both of these. It looks like the nitrite is good, but the nitrates definitely are in the water. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna say it's between 2 and 5. Angie, can you give me a better read on that?
I would say between 2 and 5. It might be more like 5 because it's a little darker, but it's not quite as dark. I'd say maybe like a 3 or a 4. So.
Okay, so 3 or 4 up here on the top one, and then the bottom one, are you in agreement that that is a 0?
I am.
Okay, so we can say 0 on nitrites, but nitrates are a little bit between 2 and 5, so maybe 3 or 4. So we'll write that on our sheet, okay? All right, so you can see our blue thermometer in the clear water today, and we're gonna take it out and we're gonna give you an idea what the temperature is. Are there any guesses? Remember, it's the first week of November. The temperature outside is approximately 70 degrees, and I'm looking at it. Water temperature is approximately 46 degrees Fahrenheit.
Ooh, do you want me to push you in right now?
No, please don't. So it's very chilly water today, and you can tell just by feeling the wet string that water is very cool. So no kayaking in November, even if it's 70 degrees. Hi there, we're back. Next test, dissolved oxygen. All right, so we're trying to figure out how much oxygen is in the water, not in the air that we breathe, but in the water. So this lets us know if the levels are good. And the levels should be fairly high because we do have a dam that you saw in the beginning of our video, and you can hear the ripples and the water going over. That puts oxygen actually in the water. So we're gonna do our test, and we're gonna compare it to all these little doodahs right there, those little ampules they're called. And we're gonna fill up our test kit first, and then we'll have to wait for it to expose. So first things first, this is my little container, and I need to get 25 milliliters of water in that container. Then the chemical is in this ampule right here. You might be able to see that kind of flipping back and forth if the sun isn't too bright behind me. It's gonna react with the water, and it's gonna give us that blue color that's in the chemical kit, okay? So I'm gonna get the water first. Here we go. Hope I don't fall in. Okay, so I've got it about right at that 25 milliliter mark. Now this is currently closed, it's filled, like there's no broken glass tip. So what I have to do is put that in there. I have to break it gently on the side by pushing up. It allows water into that tube, And now you can see that that water is starting to turn blue. Okay, we're gonna wait 2 minutes. We'll come back after that 2 minutes is over and I'll show you how to read that. We've waited the full 2 minutes now, and this is what our ampule looks like. It is really solid blue. So we've kind of started comparing. It is absolutely not a 1 or a 2 or any of these low ones down here. We've kind of taken it all the way up to about 10 to 12. So we would expect that, being that it's under a riffle, it's under a waterfall, and it's fall, so there should be lots of water, dissolved oxygen in there. So we might even go with an 11, figuring it's between that 10 to 12 range of dissolved oxygen. And that's really, really good. Now, if that dissolved oxygen were really low, that would mean there could be the potential for a fish kill. And that happens in really hot weather, and when other things get in the water that can potentially cause algae to do, they basically rob the water of oxygen. That's not happening this time of year, so we have lots and lots of dissolved oxygen, which is good.